Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Never Open Podcast, the podcast open to everyone, especially Doki. Yeah, my name is Luke. I am your host of the Never Open Podcast, and with me, as always, is Mr. Andy. Hello, Mr. Andy.
Hello, Mr. Andy. Hello, Luke, and hello to TakaTaichi Mania, because it's our fourth one, Luke. You know, there was a time right in the middle of TakaTaichi Mania, like 2, where we were thinking, did we get them all? Have we covered them all? And we have. We've covered every TakaTaichi Mania that's ever happened, and we will cover every TakaTaichi Mania that comes to pass in the future as well.
This is true.
Some of our favorite shows. So
yeah, they don't, what was the turnaround for this? Like a week and a half? They could tell us tomorrow or today that there's one on tomorrow, and we're there, dude. We are there. Oh, not there, but we'll watch it at home. So,
yeah, we're there in spirit.
And I don't know this for a fact, but I know it to be true that we will be the only, at least English-speaking podcast that will be talking in depth about TakaTaichi Mania 4.
Probably. Yeah, probably.
Oh,
but
yeah.
You never know. I mean, when somebody might be out there stepping on our toes, because this is our territory. No one else is allowed to. It's
only room for one. Yeah, that's it. We will just ignore all the other podcasters, but we do that anyway, don't we?
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much. But hello, all the other podcasts. We love that you exist. So, there is that. Because, he spreads the word of New Japan, and that's always a fucking good thing for us. Anyway, there are ways that people can contact and interact with us if they wish to. We're on the Blue Sky. I am Grumpy2 at grumpy2eb.bluesky.social. Yep. Mr. Guy is Drucifer at drucifertweets.bluesky.social. And collectively, we are, still getting used to fucking how Blue Sky does the things. We are at neveropenpod.bluesky.social. If you want to send us a written or voice email, you can do that too. neveropenpod@gmail.com. Also, if you got any of that Sasha Banks money, kick it our way. We have a Teespring store where you can buy merch that'll make you look never as fuck. And you can see me do this wonderful intro, nailing it perfectly, word for word. Not a single misstep on YouTube's. We're on YouTube, Never Open Podcast. Hello, hi. Never Open Podcast. Look us up. Give us a share, like, subscribe, all that kind of shit. Hi, or don't, whatever. Just interact with us. Hi. Or consume our product.
Consume. I hate that.
Obey.
How everything is just consume. I consumed this the other day. No, you fucking watch the TV show. Relax. It's like I don't understand why we've all, adopted these words. But, there is a growing list. Me and friend of the show, Jamie Coy, have a growing list of internet words we don't like. You know what I mean? And it is ever growing. And my goodness, the crossovers are unbelievable. And one day, maybe we'll talk about it on Never Realm.
You are sounding like old man who yells at Cloud. And as someone who also liked yelling at Cloud, and that particular subject, I will want to converse with you about it on the podcast. Fuck yeah. Yeah.
We just mainly text each other, and that's so we don't yell at the Cloud, you see. So, it's like we just kind of yell to each other in text so that we don't have to, do it in public and then be called old. It's because because I am not old.
No, we aren't. We're middle-aged.
I am not old. So
that's true.
I will never.
He's not. No.
Luke, we had no idea where the show was going to be. And I was happy to see that it was going to be at Kurgan Hall. And there is no English commentary for TakaTaichi Mania. There should never be English commentary for TakaTaichi Mania. This is a very Japanese event. And that's what we like about it. So just real quick before we get started, I would like to talk about why I like this show. And the reason why I like TakaTaichi Mania is because I kind of don't know what's going on sometimes. And it's fun to message your buddy while you're watching it and try to figure out what's going on and make up your own stuff and everything. And we do that in New Japan. But in New Japan, if you have English commentary on, they're spoon feeding you everything that has happened and is maybe going to happen. And it's a little much. And so this reminds me much more of how watching New Japan was when I first started watching it. It was like watching one of these TakaTaichi Mania shows where I'm not quite sure exactly what's going on, but man, it's fun. You know what I mean? And I like that about these shows. It brings me back to that kind of thing.
I see that. There's also this element of, in a different way of not knowing what the hell is going to happen next or what to expect, because these are different than New Japan shows in that, hey, look, there's a lady, a ring announcer. Cool. That's cool. We have a lady ref as well. Awesome. We'll speak about her and her reffing style. I have no doubt about that. And we'll speak about old man reffing style as well.
Oh my God. This fucking guy was a superstar.
Wow. So we'll talk about those. But I thought it was a really good kind of mix-up of different things that you might expect from Japanese wrestling, but all in one Japanese show, if that makes sense. Because if you want to watch Stardom, I guess you've got to go watch Stardom, or if you want to watch women's wrestling, you've got to watch a women's promotion, and vice versa with the men. But with JTO, with the TakaTaichi Mania show, we're getting everything. We're getting things that feel like Japanese indie-rific, like it's like total Japanese indies. Like we get some guys who feel like indie vets, and other guys who are just like, wow, they're green as hell, for both genders, and it's really fun. It's like getting a taste of Japanese wrestling but all of it in a way. That's another reason I like these TakaTaichi Mania shows.
There's even an intergender match on this show.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like it's and so if you don't know, if this is your first TakaTaichi Mania, the man known as Taka Michinoku has his own promotion / school called Just Tap Out. And so that it's a Just Tap Out show. That's what it is. But it's like they bring in the New Japan talent, to kind of head off these matches now, or these shows. Now, in the past, there's always been at least one pretty heavy match. Whether it's something that's like emotional or something where people are killing each other or just something that is memorable from every show. Like, for example, one time Doki wrestled Taichi and it was fucking awesome. We had Doki versus Desperado was on one of them. We talked about both those
matches for fucking months, man. Like, we still do.
So on this one, it's interesting because the match that kind of like hits the hardest, I think, isn't one of the TakaTaichi matches. So, we'll talk about it and everything. But man, this is fun. We had Milana Collection AT on commentary and a couple guests, and the first person that we see is the old announcer from New Japan, Little Tanahashi Jr., who usually had the crazy hair. He's out there doing, coming out of retirement to do this match or this show. It's great.
It's a Taka show, so you're going to see people who are friends with Taka Michinoku appear on it, plus Ishii. I'm never sure who he's friends with because Ishii, when he's wrestling, has Ishii face. That's just all there is to say about that. But even though they're all in different factions and doing different things in New Japan, oh, look, Despy's here. Awesome. Of course, he's been in a lot of these. Look, Zack Sabre Jr.'s here. He's been on to a couple of these as well. If, different factions, doesn't matter. Backstage, they're still all thick as thieves and buddies and things like that. So, I just like seeing everyone turn up. Taka's got some buddies, and he must have some stroke, even though you watch a New Japan show and it's just like Taka's in this match. Yep, I get what the finish is going to be. It doesn't matter. Who gives a shit? But Taka's just like, oh, Tanahashi's retiring this year. I want to wrestle you on the main event of my show at TakaTaichi Mania, and it's gonna be fucking awesome as well. I fucking love that match. Oh my god, I can't wait to talk about it. So, I mean, like, it's foregone conclusion. Who cares? Like, I think for the people watching it in the crowd and us, in our homes and stuff, watching this show, it was, well, you got the old veteran who's sticking around, who's not retiring. And you've got Tanahashi, who is retiring, and it's just like this kind of feel-good match between two like bona fide legends. It's great. So I love this show. Let's get that right out of it.
What's your favorite memory from a past TakaTaichi Mania show?
Dude, I don't remember who tagged with Honma. Wasn't there? Oh no, it was Jun Kasai and Honma. And who were they wrestling? Doki and
Desperado, I think.
Desperado in a freaking death match. Now, I know Doki, Jun Kasai, and Despi can do that stuff. I shouldn't have doubted Honma because, I mean, you look at his forehead and you know this motherfucker's bled, right? But I hadn't seen.
That's why his voice is that way. Is because of an injury in a death match.
But I hadn't seen him at least live or anything like in that kind of environment. Plus, you know, this is after injuries and stuff, so it's the modern day Honma, I guess, who I love anyway. So what am I
always
talking
happy, about? Right? He's like the happy guy with ridges in his forehead.
Yeah, right. Nah, this match was just gnarly shit the whole time. I think it's the first time I'd seen Doki in a kind of death match as well situation, so that was cool. And Despi and Jun Kasai, I could watch just tear each other apart all the time. So I loved that. But there's just also little things I remember, like Super Tall Dude versus Zack Sabre Jr. I think happened on one of these.
It was a tag match. It was Suzuki and Zack Sabre Jr. versus Super. Oh no, you're right. He had a singles match versus him too. That's right. Yeah. I forgot.
Yep. So fun. Yeah, so you know, it's all sorts of things. Like the first time we did one of these shows, Suzuki-gun was still around, so you got Suzuki-gun guys in it. But even though these guys aren't in a faction anymore, as I said earlier, they're all going to still appear on this. They're just going to wrestle each other instead, you know? Yeah. Like, instead of a special match between faction mates, it's like we're in different factions. Now we can actually, like, not even, it's, you know, we can go hard and stuff. So now yeah, that's another thing that these shows, they always have something that'll stick in my memory. I don't have to look at notes. I don't have to go back and look at the cards and stuff. I've just got like these kind of vivid memories of all the shit that happens on these. So yeah, I love these shows.
Yeah. What about you? You know, I this isn't my favorite memory, but it's a good one. Is one time there was a tag match and it was fucking Fishermen. They showed up on a TakaTaichi Mania show versus Taichi and Yoshitatsu. And Yoshitatsu is like, he is a world-renowned idiot. Like, no one likes him. That's his gimmick, is that everybody hates his guts. But they hate him in a fun way. You know, like, yeah, you can come, but man, I don't like you. And at a certain point, Taichi helped Fisherman hit a Shota on Yoshitatsu because he was so tired of his shit. And that was so funny. No Yoshitatsu tonight, though. On this one, he was backstage. He didn't get a shot, though. You know, so no spot for you.
As soon as you mentioned the Taichi and Yoshitatsu match, I was like, oh yeah, that's the one where Taichi actually helps Bishamon win the match, straight up, because he's so mad at Yoshitatsu for his bullshit, and the crowd's like, good. That was great. Yeah, no one in the crowd's booing that either. No. Like, you just turn on your tag part and the crowd's like, yep, we saw this coming and we approve and should have happened sooner and more often.
Well, everyone out there, you can listen to all of our past TakaTaichi Mania episodes. It's really easy. All you have to do is type TakaTaichi Space Mania into any podcast app, and we will be the only podcast that pops up for full episodes. There are, of course, people that talk about it and write those words in their description, but do they really talk about it?
Like, even when we were on the Tweety, I think we were the only English-speaking people that were even doing tweets on it.
That's true.
You know, so this is also a cheeky thing. I'm going to blame Taka for this because, you know, he's always fucking hustling that motherfucker, right? So this is like at least $3 more expensive than Resurgence. It's on in a couple of days. But I already know that because of just the track record of TakaTaichi Mania and the track record of my enjoyment of the American New Japan shows, I spent my hard-earned dollary dues wisely because I always enjoy these shows more, and this was no exception. We watched this live together, and we don't do that a lot these days, and that's fine. Like, or at least I'll take that back. If we watch a show together at the same time, it's usually after the show's happened. So we'll organize it maybe a day or two later or whatever. You know, that's what we do. This show, Mr. Guy is like, you know what? I'm waking up early for this motherfucker, and you were awake, and you didn't have that. I'm still waking up grumpy phase either. You were just like, oh my god, it's like you on Christmas morning or some shit, man. You were just really excited on the messages the whole time.
I didn't sleep much. And it's still the same day for me too. So
didn't sleep much because you were excited for fucking TakaTaichi Mania. Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. I just didn't sleep much, and then I was like, well, time to get up. But yeah, it happened to land on a day I was off, which is thankful. I'm thankful for, because if it didn't, I don't know how that we would have had to watch it later. But pardon me. Yeah. But yes, it was fun, and I was excited to see it for sure early in the morning.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll take the first match, but I think we'll both have to help each other out for the second match because of just the poor announcing of who everyone is, which doesn't happen for any other match. So I've got the names for everybody else, but we'll get to that for the Battle Royal when it happens.
Everybody can't make 20 chyrons for one match, man. So they got time for that shit.
I probably wouldn't have caught them all anyway.
No, they were coming up and coming down fast.
Oh yeah, because I don't even have Ryoma's full name. You did.
Mine says Ryona Suko something.
Yeah, so it is a little bit
fast as I could type. So.
It's Ryoma Tsukamoto. So there you go.
Suka something. I was close. So
yep. So we haven't seen a lot of these guys before, everyone. So it's definitely going to happen that we're going to butcher some of these Japanese names. That's just all there is to say about it. Let it go. We
don't let anybody, no one say anything else about it.
Yeah, we don't read your complaints anyway. So Ryoma and Thunder Masami versus Yuji Nagata and Daiki motherfucking Nagai. Oh my god, and he looks like the cockiest motherfucker on earth. Oh my god, it's awesome. Why? He gets the tag with Blue Justice. That's why. Look at that. Oh, we have for this match and for most of the show, a lady ref. I don't know when you want to talk about her ref style, but we can get to that at some point. So
we'll get to it. Yeah,
we'll definitely get to it. Thunder and Nagai are going hard. And I'm appreciating that. And then Nagata, he tags in, so's Ryoma. And Nagata starts laying into Ryoma. He takes him down and tags in Daiki Nagai. And Ryoma's in the corner. And everyone knows what I'm probably talking about here when Stone Cold's got a guy in the corner and he stomps a mud hole in their ass. Like everyone knows what I'm talking about when I say that.
And then you got to walk it dry.
That's right.
Stomp the mud hole, walk it dry, right?
That's it. Well, Daiki Nagai does that with slaps. He pretty much just slaps Ryoma down over and over again until this guy goes down. If you see the end of the match, when Ryoma bows to Yuji Nagata, he's got a red, shoulder chest part here. It's like, wow. He got fucking wailed on by Nagai. That was awesome. And the guy's also doing a huge monkey flip on Thunder Masami, then a Brab, which is also really cool. And Daiki Nagai also drop kicks the fuck out of Ryoma right in the face. It's like
a good kick, yeah.
Yeah, it was just a really good angle by the cameraman as well, but also just a damn good drop kick. And Ryoma's in perfect position to make it look like it really got him in the mush, and maybe it did a bit. It looked awesome, and I'm pretty sure that's the first laugh of the night. Is that the one? The Milano is laughing a few times tonight, and just in case listeners don't remember, if a ex-wrestler on commentary is laughing at something he's seen in the ring, it's not usually a botch. He's usually laughing because he's like, oh, that's a bit stiff, and that looks like it fucking hurt. Like that's usually why they're laughing. So
or if someone lands directly on their face or something, they're like, that's happened to me before. It sucks. That's kind of the laugh.
That's it. Yeah. Yep. Oh my God. There's a. All right. By the way, one. I think it's either Thunder. It's Thunder. He slaps Nagata in the back, and I'm just like, nah, dude. No, it's against you can do cool stuff on Nagata, but don't fucking smack him like that. Like, nah, man.
He's gonna have to get extra suction cups now.
That's right.
You know,
later on in the match, though, Ryoma will give him a lariat to the back, but it's kind of safe looking. So
he knew he knew that was coming.
Oh yeah. But he did make up for that safe back lariat with a nice side suplex on Nagata for 2. Nagata hits a nice exploder. It's around here with when Ryoma and Nagata are wrestling. You make a good point about Nagata. One as soon as you mentioned it, it kind of like, wow, he's always like that. At least older Nagata. It makes sense. You can tell us about that in a tick. There's a Saito suplex with a bridge, and Nagata and Daiki Nagai wins. Nagata pins Ryoma. And after the match, Nagai doesn't give a shit. He's beating the shit out of Thunder on the outside, just wailing on him, smacking him around and stuff. He's just like, hey, I'm with Yuji Nagata, bitch. Who are you with? The loser, exactly. So I win. And he's being a cocky shit about it, and I love it. He's awesome.
Yeah, he's making silly faces and pointing to him, going, "Oh, hit me in the face here, hit me right there," to Thunder. And what's funny about that is that then they all have to stand in the ring and give respect to each other after he did that, which is pretty funny. Because usually the guy's like, all right, enough of that. Come on, you guys, let's do this. That's fun. But yeah,
they don't want to, but they're like, yes, Nagata-san, yes.
Yeah, of course,
absolutely.
Yuji Nagata in this match, I don't think he's this way in every match because in New Japan he's got to run. But he was not signed up for running in this, and he pretty much just stood there and let all the young guys just run around him and do the wrestling, the hard, fast parts of the wrestling, and he just kind of directed traffic, and it was, it was good stuff. You really don't notice it, like you said, until you see it, and then you're like, oh, he hasn't even taken a step this whole match, so...
You're right about him not always doing that in New Japan. But so when you made that point last night, I'm like, all right, maybe he doesn't always do it, but he does do it. And it's just like a jigsaw piece falling into place or something that I didn't know needed to be put in place. I was like, yeah, that's a good observation. That was good.
Well, he's got to do the Ho Train in man tag.
Oh, so yeah, of course.
Can't stand still doing the Ho Train, so.
You're either part of the Ho Train or you're getting Ho Trained. And I know what Nagata would rather do. He'd rather run and do the Ho Train on others.
That's right.
So, yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So we have a lady announcer that comes out, and she does most of the announcing for the night. She's great, and she always bows to the crowd very politely, like, "Hey, I respect you." And I don't know why she respects them all, because there's some of these people in these crowds that deserve no respect. We'll talk about them in the main event. But this next match is a battle royal. And it takes us a minute to figure it out because like 6 guys on each side come out at once. And I'm like, well, okay, so it's a 12-man tag. But no, it's a battle royal. They all just get in the ring. And there's like 12 guys. So who is in this match? It is Bomber Tetsuya. We have a guy named Ibuki. We have a guy named Bomber Bomb. So there's 2 guys named Bomber in this match. There's Koki Fujimita. There's Akira Fire. We remember Fire.
Oh, yeah.
There's Akira Jumanji. And then there's Fire Katsumi, who we've seen on TakaTaichi in the past. Ryuya Takakura, I'm pretty sure him or Genta Yubari is Pants Man. So we've had Pants Man before on the show. He was a champion in JTO, I think, on the last one.
Yeah.
And he was there for this one. He has like samurai pants, like old school Godo. And we have Tyson Maguchi, Ara. We have AKM, Miyamasu, and topping off, if I missed anybody, sorry, but topping the, kind of best guy in the match, and he doesn't do much, and I'm kind of pissed. It was Kikutaru. So Kikutaru comes out, and everyone didn't know he was going to be in this. They're like, oh, fuck. But there's like a story here where Kikutaru seems to be like directing some of the students, because a lot of these kids are students. There's like an emo team too that seems to be a group in here. Yeah. They're like emo kids, and so he's kind of directing things, and he helps. There's a lot of gang pins in this match. Oh, dude, it's constant. So every time somebody gets down, they're all piling on somebody to get them out, so they can then get. Because what it is the winner. This is very important. The winner gets a spot in a singles match in the next TakaTaichi show. So that means there will be another TakaTaichi show, which is big news. So I really like that. At first, I thought this was like JTO kids versus Kikutaru kids, but it's not. I think there's a mix of both in here.
Yeah.
But it's not that as clean as that. It's a little more complicated. So there's a big slap fight at the beginning between everybody, and then Kikutaro helps everybody get pins. We get a big dive from one of the little guys, and a bunch of guys start arguing with Kikutaro, and he talks shit to him. So they kick his ass, and everybody pins him. So...
The biggest gang pin you've ever seen. Yeah, it was fucking awesome.
Well, he'd been turning on people right and left.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
It's like, now, unfortunately, he didn't get to do any of his shit. One of my favorite things, and I've mentioned it before on the show, is the Kikutaru cell. Because Naito does it on accident sometimes. Is that's where he rolls into the ropes and just freezes there, stuck in the ropes, and just stays there. And it's really funny. So he's just upside down. And Kikutaro wears his mask is a man wearing a hat. So his mask is an entire face with a hat on it. So
yeah, it's true.
So...
His outfit too looks like a Fallout Vault suit almost.
He does. That's true. I don't have a joke for that, but
no.
Anyway, but yeah, they kick his ass, they get him out. Then Fire sneaks in and pins him and another guy, some other guy at the same Pants Guy. Pants Guy's wrecking shop. Fire sneaks in, pins him and another guy at the same time.
It's awesome.
Pin two guys.
I'm pretty sure he uses a guy that's already been pinned to help him pin another guy. So that's awesome. Like, this guy's eliminated, and just to add insult to injury, he uses him for extra leverage to pin another dude. Lady ref's just like, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to allow this. Gang pins and assisted pins and pins using eliminated people. I'm going to accept this. Yep.
I mean, I'm surprised you won't see that more in battle royals. You know what I mean? Because there's no rule against it. So now we got this guy in the match named Bomba. And I know his name is Bomba because every time he even is on the screen, Milano and the other guys are just yelling Bomba. They love saying it. And guess who wins the match? Fucking Bomba. And they just cannot stop yelling his name. He wins a bunch of protein powder, and we had a suspicion about where that protein powder was sourced, right?
Yeah, it's just is this from the same nutritional shop that Michael Elgin tried to steal from?
I think so.
I'm a big white dude built like a brick shithouse. I wonder if anyone will notice me in Japan, where most people are Japanese, stealing things. Yeah, they will, fuckhead. Yeah, what an idiot. But Bomba, not only does he win, he hits a Kokeshi, and the fucking Milano's like going nuts. Kokeshi! Kokeshi! So that's awesome. Fisherman Buster! And Bomba wins. So yeah, Michael Elgin's jealous because Bomba just gets handed this protein.
I know!
Powder. And he's employed as well, Bomba. So there's
Michael
that
Elgin's
as well.
Gotta steal it. He can't do that right.
And he's unemployed. Oh my God, that makes me laugh. I love it. All right, so next we have a ladies match. It is Rana Yugami, Sayaka Kurara, and Sayori Ano versus Big Haruka, Akane Fujita, and Rhythm.
Rhythm. We know Rhythm. And we've seen Big Haruka as well, by the way. So
yeah, I think so. So I think the biggest winner in this match is was one of the fans. He takes a certain photo afterwards, which you pointed out to me, and it was fucking funny. But that's because Rhythm's butt is eating her trunks. And I am not disappointed, and I like that, and I also like some of the moves in the wrestling she does too. So that's more important. And
every time we've seen Rhythm in the past, she's been white meat babyface, getting her ass kicked, like white meat babyface getting her fucking shit kicked in. And that's not the case this time. So
no, she does some crowd pleasing kind of stuff, like this middle rope walk, which is pretty cool. But there's one time where she bounces off the ropes and you think like, oh, I'm going to get drop kicked in the face. And she doesn't. She Rhythm gets alongside the lady and it's like, boom, pokes her in the eyes. And she's, and then, does some slaps and stuff like that. So, excuse me.
I like Rhythm. This. Sayori Ano, she's like the big baby face who the heels prevent from getting in the whole match. And it seems like trios are like hot in ladies wrestling right now because she seems to be like her team seems to be her and a tag team, and they're like a trio or something. You know, it's like they have some, you know, connective tissue.
That's right. Yeah. So is Arlo the one in the blue top?
I don't know what color her stuff was, but she had very short hair. She had
Oh,
she
no.
was the one who
Yeah,
came
yeah.
out, you know, with the baby faces and
Okay.
who
No,
they wouldn't let in the rings.
Kane Fujita's the one with the blue top. I remember that because she gets pinned and her team loses. But and I know that because it's Rhythm's team. They lose. Because I'm watching her and I'm like, oh, I wonder what kind of wrestling this lady likes, because I see a rock bottom for 2, which makes me laugh. I don't know why other wrestlers don't do it. It's like, you know, is it that beloved a move you can never do ever again? Because of, I mean, who cares? Everyone does stunners. Why not? You know, everyone does figure 4s. You know, so
let's see people do the rock bottom.
I don't say that often. You know, maybe I'm not paying attention or something, but we do get one of those, and then she does a Hogan style leg drop for 2, which makes me laugh as well. So, you know, she likes her iconic legends, I guess, big super names. But
I bet she takes classes like for promos from Doki, you know, and then Doki just tells her, hey, all right, so ask what the Rock is cooking. Do you smell it? You know,
right.
say, let me say, I'm about to say something, brother, or whatever he says. That was pretty funny.
So it's a pretty cool match. Everyone gets a chance to shine, but most of the match is the person who wins. I think that's Kurara, or was it Yagami?
So the sexy bridging pin
Yeah.
over the person pinned from it was Anna. So Sarari Anna, she pinned Big.
She pinned Big Haruka. Yeah. So yeah, it's those 2 who get most of the in-ring time, with the other 4 ladies coming in to do spots and break up pins and all that kind of stuff. So it's mostly those 2 women in the match, and it's pretty fucking good, actually. I really liked it. So Sariano gets the pin with this weird backwards kind of spider pin. You know, kind of like what Thekla or what Bray Wyatt would used to do. You know, going backwards with this like the spider pose, but then pinning someone while doing that, and it was fucking gnarly. I love that finish. It was great.
Yeah, there was some fun moments in this match. Like, these ladies are fired up, and some of them don't have a lot of experience, especially in front of bigger crowds. Now, this is not packed and stacked, but it's like 3/4 full, maybe like, you know, maybe close to that. And they have most of the seats are around the ring. So it's like, you know, if you look way up in Kurgan Hall, there's nobody there, but everybody's pushed down towards the front. So anyway, it's a hot crowd though, and they're, you know, and Big, like, one of the first things she does is completely forgets how to wrestle. Like, somebody kicks her right in the face, and she looks at him, she stands there, and she goes, oh, and then bumps. So funny. And that's like one of my favorite things. This bears repeating. I haven't said this in a long time. One of my favorite experiences as a fan watching wrestling is seeing wrestlers improve and take the next step. That is like the ultimate fan experience to me, because I've seen guys go from literally having their first match to main eventing NXT shows and shit like that. I've seen that whole journey before, and it is fun. You feel like
the biggest example for me, just for you, is MJF,
right?
As well.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of guys, but it's like you have that personal investment that will never go away. You know, and so I have that for a lot of the people in GS Tap Out. So it's like that. Yeah. It's fun to revisit that. But anyway, I was trying to, you know, say, hey, I'm not talking shit about the wrestling. I'm just saying,
no.
You know, but there were some stiff kicks in this match, which were met with lots of laughter from Milano. He thought it was so funny.
Yes, indeed.
And then, as you mentioned, I've seen this happen at shows in person too, and it's just like. That, in fact, we got a guy banned one time from a promotion for doing this. Only he did it a little more egregiously and did it a lot more times. Is it as the ladies are walking out, the junk is hanging out of the trunk a little bit there for rhythm, and this guy just takes his phone and just goes right up to her ass and takes a few pictures and just like slides in his pocket like he's sneaky, but the camera totally caught him. It's like, but. I was at a show one time where this guy was doing that, only he was going boo, 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 and taking like hundreds of pictures. So we ratted him out and he got banned from the promotion because come on, man. We don't need that. You know what I mean?
Look,
we don't need that shit.
Nah, look, I'll mention it, but you know, it's just a thing in passing. She looked amazing, and I can't. I'm a straight dude. That's just gonna happen, and I don't really get to say stuff like that much because I'm saying what handsome dudes all the male wrestlers are in New Japan, like every episode. So, but yeah, but even still, like I don't want to dwell on it to the point where it's like uncomfortable for anyone listening or for you to hear or anything like that. It's just like, yep, her shorts were being eaten by a butt. Let's move on. And yeah, but the
eye
guy
candy is a part of wrestling.
Hell yeah,
it's
it
a
is.
big part of wrestling. So it's okay to acknowledge that. It's not okay to be like, this is the only reason I'm watching it.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
And I bought a ticket so I could take pictures of girls' butts. You know what I mean? There are places in Japan right down the street you could go and do that. Like,
yeah,
and
exactly.
It's okay.
Like, you gotta think, like, if Ishii had a Bushi looks, he'd have been world champion. You know, like looks are not everything, but for sometimes, like, yeah, they're part of it. Like, it's just that's every promotion in the world, by the way. Like, it turns out hot people sell stuff. Did you know that? Like, wow.
Especially when they're showing tons of skin always, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
But anyway,
where the ladies are like, Sanada or something like that all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Bushi. But anyway, next Luke is the best match of the night. I love this so much, awesome. And it's because we've seen it from the very beginning. The first TakaTaichi Mania show we saw had a match between and Karate Lady is what we call her, which was Tomoka Inaba. And Inaba was an obvious star. And I don't know how old she was on that first show, but I'm thinking like they're like 16 or something like that. You know what I mean? They're very young. And she is just like a fucking star. It's obvious. We saw her wrestle Suzu Suzuki one time and it was tremendous. Mm-hmm. She's like the queen of JTO wrestling champion and their belt is cool. It's very similar to the TV title, the IWGP TV title, the big like plaque, you know, but it looks so cool. And she's just got this amazing look. Well, turns out as we start watching these shows, she has a sister. And her sister is like Karate Lady Jr. And so they had a match against each other, I think, on the last one, but it was a tag match, you know, or maybe they tagged together. I can't remember. But here, 2 Inabas will enter. 1 will leave. And this match is interesting for a lot of reasons. So it's for the JTO girls title. And both of these ladies, Tomoka Inaba and her sister, Azusa Inaba, both have titles already. They're also both in Stardom now, but they have completely different characters in Stardom. And in fact, Azusa is in Hate, and I think she's like tag champion or something. I can't remember, but in Hate they travel in a pack. It's like hot. It's the same thing, you know. And so they travel in packs. I was expecting her to come out and be all emo and fucking start hitting people with baseball bats, but that's not what we got. We got the characters of these 2 sisters fighting each other is what we got. So it was Inaba versus Inaba. And they're both doing the karate gimmick and it's fucking great.
Doing the katas at the start, you know, like and things like that. Yeah.
Tomoka is in her usual white that she wears. Azusa is in red. They both have incredible hair that has like cool braids in them Azusa's
got a love heart in her.
A heart. Yeah, it's fucking great, man. It was really cool. So they start out and they do a bunch of mat wrestling and it's really good. And it's like there's a lot of flipping escapes, you know, like lots of them. And they're big time flippy escapes and stuff. And they're fun. And Azusa, she hits a dive on the floor and that's not good. She like doesn't get any air and she just goes splat on the floor. It was real bad. But you know what I mean? We're not going to see these matches aren't going to be perfect and it doesn't matter anyway because everything else that happens in this match is fucking like top notch. So that was great. But so Azusa is on the apron and she's trying to hit the running like PK, but that's fucking her sister's move. So she pushes her off. Her sister gets up there, hits that, and we get a count out spot. But Azusa gets back in. And Tomoka gets her sister hung in the ropes and starts kicking the shit out of her. And this is when we see what the dynamic of this match is going to be. Is that they're both baby faces. but Tomoka's going to be the kind of de facto heel because she's the more skilled one. She's the more experienced one. And she's going to make her sister earn it. And so she fucking destroys her sister. And most of the match is like Tomoka just beating the fuck out of Azusa and Azusa being like, no, you can't. I won't stop, you know? And that's the story of the match. It's great. It's an easy story. But it's a good one, you know? So Tomoka starts getting some heat on her sister and we get some scattering of boos.
Oh yeah.
Also, like, there's screaming suplex reversals from Azusa, and we get a forearm fart fight. It's a fight and a fart. But that goes on for a while. And at Big Sis, she beats the shit out of Little Sis. We get a surprise knee bar from Azusa, and she's happy about it. The like camera zooms in on her, and she's like, "Yeah, I got her." It's great. But Tomoka gets to the ropes. We get Shotai or palm strikes from Little Sis, but Big Sis knows holds though, so she keeps tying her sister up. And then some of the holds are not good, by the way. Some of them don't look like they're doing anything, but it's fine. They're selling it with their face. They're selling it with the screams and all that stuff. We get a big double kick and a suplex from Little Sis for a near double count out because they both go down. That was fun. We get a big running kick, but that's countered into another kick from Tomoka. Lots of kicks, and she gets a crazy arm bar with like hand work, you know, on the end. But, but Azusa barely makes the ropes there. Tomoka hits the old primal scream, and everybody in this promotion does the Zack Driver. Everybody. So they're all trying to do it. She hits massive strikes and tries the first Zack Driver, but Azusa fires up. 3 suplexes with the last one being bridge for pin, and then she goes for a Zack Driver, but then Tomoka gets the Zack Driver, but Little Sis kicks out. So we get a bunch of cool kicks from Little Sis, and she goes for her finisher, which her finisher seems to be a running, charging like knee, where she goes and like runs, you know, and so she tries to do that several times, but just gets cut off.
Every time,
it's great. So when she finally gets it, but Tomoka just gets up at 1, and they're like, "Oh my god!" So this is when Azusa finally has her sister down, and she's like, "Okay, you just did all that to me. Well, now I'm gonna get you back." And she starts kicking her in the head over and over again, and it's gross. And some of the kicks are just like, guys, why are we doing? Why? I don't understand why the head is not a protected area in Joshi wrestling. It's just like, doesn't matter. Just kick each other right in the fucking head. Just try not to hit the face. You know? I mean, that's pretty much the only rule. So, but Karate Lady won't stop getting up. You know, Azusa tries to end it with a pin, but Karate Lady will not give up. Little Sis hits a big running knees while yelling, and she tries another, but Karate Lady catches her leg. So Azusa hits a Kamagoye, primal scream. Azusa hits a terrifying moonsault and a nasty running knee. Little Sis wins. There was also a question mark kick in there at one point. That's later. That's that hits that. I forgot. But but there were so many kicks, and this match, what I didn't really tell you is this match was very emotional. And like, we've only seen these ladies wrestle a few times, but man, I was invested in this.
Yeah, same.
And the post match is awesome. What'd you think about the match?
I love this match. You're right. All right. So yes, the dive's terrible, but the rest of it's great. There's a couple times where they're grappling or trying to put a submission on each other, and one's like sandbagged, or they're just like not quite in position. And so they just let go and move on or something. And, you know, so I kind of appreciated that because all the beats that this match needed to hit, this match hit big time, to the point where you and I are like, we only see you ladies like once in a blue moon, and holy shit, we're invested in these two sisters kicking the shit out of each other. Oh my god. It's like I think it's might be the one match on the card, and maybe some of the semi-main event as well, with Ishii, Taichi, and Zack Sabre Jr. and Jun Akiyama, where we just stopped messaging each other because we're just like, shut up, we're watching this. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we'll just, oh my god, the Kamagoye looked fucking awesome too. It's just gnarly kicks. Like, really uncomfortable at some points, which you know, they're probably nice and safe and whatever, and they know each other pretty well because they're sisters and stuff, but still. And that splash too, that Azusa hit, that looked fucking gnarly as well. Like, just splat. Like, god damn. Fucking hell. It's like, you know, you could go that little bit harder because, oh, it's just my sister, it's fine, you know what I mean? Like, there's just a little bit of that, you know, especially with the kicks and the strikes and stuff, because they go hard on each other's chests with forearms and stuff too. Yeah, I love this. I love this match. It was awesome. Yeah.
I like that JTO has their own storylines and they're not going to let, you know, Stardom mess that up. I imagine Stardom maybe isn't allowed on this show too, for whatever reason. Because remember when Suzu Suzuki came in, that was a big fucking deal because she was a Stardom wrestler. And that was like, oh my God, everyone was freaking out about that. So you know, maybe that's why Hate wasn't involved, or maybe TakaTaichi didn't want to pay up the fee. So that Stardom was going to ask for. So
because Mike has been on one of these shows as well, and
true, yeah.
her stock has risen mostly, and two reasons: she's awesome, and also they've had happened to them what's happening with New Japan. Some of their absolute icons have just fucking left, you know. So
well, Mike is from JTO too, by the way. That's the first time we saw her was on one of these shows, and she was like a young trainee, I think, at that point. So we've seen her grow. It's awesome. A lot of Stardom ladies are JTO graduates now, and they all do the Michinoku driver. Come on, guys.
Come on, man.
So after the match, though, they're both just laying there in the ring, and they're crying, but they're laying like they're both on their back with, like, you know, head on one end, feet on the other, so that they don't see each other's faces. But you see, like, the cameraman catches that they're holding hands while they're crying, and it's like, oh my God, karate ladies. So it's very emotional. Azusa gets the mic. It takes her a while to even get any words out because she has to collect herself. Plus, she's playing it up a little bit. So she says a bunch of stuff and hugs her sister, and I think she challenges for the Queen of Just Tap Out belt. I thought this would be like their last match, like a graduation match, but no, we're booking TakaTaichi Mania 5, motherfuckers. So I love that. That was great. And then, Luke, we had something amazing. Tell me what happens next.
All right, so there's silence, and I'm like, oh, okay, what the fuck's going on here? Music due to copyright, you know, we don't have alternative music, which is good because I didn't want to hear Makabe's music anyway. But don't worry, he's not here on this show. Come on, Taka's not going to make me pay for that bullshit. I'm like, come on. But a whole bunch of ladies that look like they're dressed up in the black and gold kind of Taichi outfits, they get in the ring, and there's, I don't know, like 7 or 8 of them, and they do a fucking song and dance routine in the middle of the ring. And Andy and I have nothing but complete fucking silence for the whole thing. And this ain't 2 minutes. Like, I have time to get up and have a drink, go to the toilet, like a couple things. Like, if I could have heard it, maybe I would have just like waited for like the entrances for the next match or something like that, you know. But you know, or waited for, you know what I mean, like the in between parts. But instead, I was like, well, this is going on longer than I thought it would, and it's complete fucking silence. Complete silence. No commentary, nothing. So I don't know what it is, what it's for, what their names are, anything like that.
We know who this is. This is Ready to Kiss. This is Taichi's like own idol band or whatever. And last time we saw them, they sang a song about Taichi. The song is about Taichi. So.
Well, you can only assume that it's that again. But look, it was just a bit weird to have zero sound, I guess.
I love that. I loved it. I thought it was so cool because to me, that's just one of those weird things that used to happen on New Japan shows when I first started watching it. Ladies didn't come out and start singing songs, but weird shit happened. You know what I mean? And sometimes there was no explanation, and I like it. It makes me laugh. So. And
because this is like a JTO pay-per-view, it's on World, but it's not getting the same attention that a New Japan show would get on World. So, you know, there's no Chris or some other English speaking gentleman who can also speak Japanese doing any tweets or fucking updates or anything like that.
They might have been, but I don't want any of it. I don't want to see it.
So So you just do not know. So that went for between 5 to 10 minutes, maybe not, but there was a lot of silence, and my ADHD brain was starting to be like, "All right, okay, this is cool, but it's time for time for wrestling, please." Like I would have liked it. I would have. It was enjoyable. They did a good routine and stuff, but you know, for all we know, they did like 20 song botches when they messed up lyrics and stuff like that, and we just wouldn't know, would we?
You think Taichi's favorite band sucks? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I think they're better than the ghost of 10 Freddie Mercury's, of course. Like, come on, man, it's Taichi. He's got the best taste in music, not like Yo, who's got like the stinkiest stank nugget taste in music. But yeah.
I thought one of the ladies in that tag match looked kind of like Yo's sister or something like that. You know, maybe like his older sister actually, and she was kind of stern. You know,
That's right.
Just saying.
Yeah, I like Yo did not get his taste of music from her. That's for sure. He likes the fucking Eagles. Like, get out of here. Like,
one of our favorite wrestlers from these shows is a young lady by the name of and we don't know how to say her name because it's all vowels. And she was on the very first show, and I would say her and Karate Lady were the stars of TakaTaichi Mania and have been for us, right? As far as like JTO wrestlers that we didn't know before. I mean, super tall dude's gone, so now it's and Karate Lady.
That's right. Whereas I feel like we've seen. I don't mean any offense with. Have you ever seen a wrestler that you like, and you think to yourself, that wrestler from the first time I've seen them to now is still at the same skill level, and you know what? They probably always will be at that certain skill level, but you might like their look, their personality might shine. It's wrestling, right? So sometimes those positives like outweigh the fact that they can't pull out fucking 5-star classics or some shit, you know, like we don't care about that anyway, but you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think we've all loved wrestlers that we've been like, man, this person's cool. They're all right in the ring, you know, all right.
Yeah, Danhausen. You know what I mean? Danhausen's awesome, but I mean, he's never been a good wrestler.
Yeah, man. So. Exactly. So, like, and sometimes you don't notice this until that person is up against an absolute pro who's one of the best to do it, right? So we got, and she comes out to the ring looking cool as fuck, like always.
Yeah,
so
what about that mask? That cool mask and everything, but she had a mystery opponent. We didn't know who the opponent was going to be, right?
No, we did not. So I'm expecting like Lady Bread or like a woman. I guess that's
Lady
my
Bread. Everyone would have been like, "What?" They'd have been like, "Oh." We would have been fired. We would have been fired up, but they would. All the fans would have been like, "What the?"
Those two Westerners loved it, you know. So Micah or Azumi or all sorts of ladies or something like that. But no, it's not even a lady at all. There's a bit of everything on a TakaTaichi Mania show, and it's Oi versus El Desperado. That's his music hits, and everyone is fucking going nuts, and the crowd starts chanting Oi's name because why? They're happy for her to be wrestling El Desperado.
I don't know if I've ever heard that before, where a crowd started chanting the name of the wrestler who's not coming out because they're happy that this person gets to experience this, and we all get to experience it together. It was wild.
That was one of my first things I said to you. It was just like, this is really awesome for because you're wrestling the fucking junior champion, like one of New Japan's top guys. You know, like weight divisions doesn't matter. He is one of their top guys. He just is. And one thing you notice in this match is Oi has a level, and maybe that's her ceiling. Maybe she'll surprise us. I hope so. But it doesn't even matter if this is her ceiling because I like her anyway. You do too. But Desperado, you see what an absolute fucking professional he is in every way, shape, or form, in doing moves, in positioning, in generosity, in bumping, in bumping and selling, and just making Oi look fucking amazing at every way, shape, or form. Now, I'll talk more about the match in a minute, but when she's doing stuff like, putting some kind of octopus stretch on or something and her legs slipping and stuff like that. Despy, like sometimes it's subtle, and I'm just watching it, and sometimes it's subtle, just the way he'll move, and if you're not being a dickhead podcaster has to take notes about these things, you might not notice this stuff that he's moving in such a way to help her put the move back on, but he makes it look like, oh, I'm struggling a bit here.
Right.
But he's actually helping her at the same time. There's not heaps of that, but it's there, right? So it's not like he has to help her for everything or anything like that. She acquits herself just fine in this match. But it's like seeing someone who's one of the best in the world wrestle someone who's all right, but what he does is he gets everyone in the crowd on Oi's side, and he does it also like, Despy could go full on douchebag heel. He does a little bit of it, but not a lot of it. He does it enough. He doesn't even have to do a lot. Like, that's the thing. That's what cuts into that generosity he has. Like, but some of the times he doesn't even have to do a lot with his offense. Just a couple stamps, all this kind of stuff.
Well, every time that Oi gets hit, I mean, Oi bumps kind of like Sasha Banks a little bit, where you're like, oh my God, are you all right? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's helpful too. Whenever, because a lot of this match is getting her fucking ass kicked, but she is bumping like a crazy person, and you're just like, wow, that looks like it hurts real bad. So they're working together. She's holding up her end of the bargain,
Absolutely. And hey, I would rather a wrestler have better bumping skills than an arsenal, I guess, because one way to get, I guess, both of us to like you, because this is what got us into Doki, I guess, is bumping like a fucking maniac. So, if we know how you can take moves, then we probably, get into you and stuff. So yeah, she's bumping great. But she's also dodging some of Despy's main offense too. So, that's awesome. So she's got him kind of scouted, and that's all right. She's getting fucking kicks and chops and shit on him. The chops and stuff, no sell. But once he starts laying kicks in, all right, Despy starts going, oh fuck. Even gets a couple submissions on him, like an arm breaker, a couple of like octopus kind of holds and stuff. All this kind of stuff. It's great. And then yes, there's lots of ass kickery by Despy, but it kind of, it's not until like there's no real full stop kind of like I'm in full control, it's over, until Despy lands his freaking fist. Everyone knows the fist I'm talking about, the freaking knockout punch he does.
Yeah.
He smacks Oi with it, and it's fucking lights out. She's up at 9.5, but it doesn't matter. Pinche Loco for 3. And I don't know, I already love El Desperado, but this match made me like him even more and just find this absolute like huge amount of respect for him that I already did that. Like, I don't know, I just saw a different side of him that I thought was awesome. Not just in terms of character, but also just like the pro wrestler. And Oi is always fucking cool. I don't care if she's ever gonna, main event a Stardom Wrestle Kingdom kind of show or not. I'm always going to be like, yeah, it's going to be good. So, and it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that a lot. It was so fun to see Desperado come out, and like that was such a shocking moment, but in a good way. And seeing him do the veritable broomstick performance here, was fun to watch, because he's like, I was just thinking, like, he's kind of the Shingo of the juniors, right? And man, like, wouldn't it be cool if those two teamed up? They're so similar. You know what I mean? They are so similar. I'm just saying, now there's some possibilities out there. Got my wheels turning, but I was really happy to see this one. There was some fun stuff with like, you mentioned she's crawling around on him, and there was a lot of that where she's, how much does Oi possibly weigh? Like 100 pounds, maybe. Her gear probably puts her over the 100-pound mark. So, for long periods, Desperado can stand there with her on his shoulders for the whole match, pretty much. And like there was parts where she'd get up there, she'd slip into this and slip into that, and then there was parts where she would get up and then hit like a crucifix bomb or something like that,
really cool too,
so there was a lot of cool stuff like that going on. And I don't know. I really liked the match a lot. It was fun. We have to move on, though. Next, a man comes out, and he's not there to wrestle. He's there to tell us stuff. And his name is Kawada. Kawada came to dispute TakaTaichi Mania, which, by the way, I guess technically it's TakaTaichi Despi Mania now. Which is one of the old other shows was called that. So, but anyway, Kawada comes out. He joins commentary. Everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, that's crazy! I didn't know he was still alive." So I feel really bad, but I got him mixed up with somebody else. Anyway, but we know Taichi loves Kawada, and that's a big deal to have him there for his match. So they show the crowd, by the way, and the whole crowd, except for a few motherfuckers, are Taichi fans. Taichi has some merch, I guess, available for this night that maybe is only available for this night. Some poster towel thing, and everybody's got one. I mean, the whole fucking place has got these things out. It's like when Bray Wyatt used to come out and everybody held their phones up, but it's Taichi with these little
it's
towels.
Like that. Yeah.
But we get the full Taichi entrance with only one thing missing. No Miho Abe, unfortunately. But
Taka
that's okay.
couldn't afford Miho.
Yeah, well, nobody can. But
true.
this it's like I kind of like that she's not there though, because every time I think, well, maybe she will be. You know what I mean? And so it's like, not this time. Maybe next time.
What do we like more than Miho Abe? The possibility of Miho Abe. Yeah.
I like both a lot, but
it's true. Yeah.
But we do get the full Taichi entrance and some marks posed with Taichi and Ishii in the ring. And I was thinking, who are these guys? But I think what it is I think they hold up a photo of like an old lady with Taichi, and she's in the ring with Taichi at one point, like for a photo opportunity. I think those were fans whose mom was a massive Taichi fan, and she died. And so they were like, they got this opportunity, like, he wanted to honor her, or these are Taichi's kids. So it's one, or it could be both. It could be both, so I don't know.
And that whole framed thing was like the DNA test or something. Like
it's like Maury Povich, like, you are the father. Taichi's like, yes, always wanted kids. But the match is Taichi and Ishii versus Zack Sabre Jr. and Jun Akiyama. And Jun Akiyama is a legend. I always remember him from the I know this is a somewhat recent thing, but he was in the match it was a tag match where Nakajima was on one side and Jun Akiyama was on the other side with the DDT Pro Champion, and fucking Nakajima KO'd like as a shoot the DDT Pro Champion, and fucking Jun Akiyama was mad. And he just, you want to talk about seeing a dad, like a wrestler dad, go off? Oh man, he got real mad.
Look, just seeing him just do his thing tonight, like last night, like he didn't really have super angry face. He had normal wrestler face. That's fine. But he already had the vibe to me of like a guy you don't want to fuck with, right? Like this guy's like 6 foot something, and he looks like he could not only strike you to fucking the stratosphere, but if he puts a submission hold on you, he's going to do a Tanahashi on a young lion on you to like just break you in half. Like this Jun Akiyama is fucking Stu Hart.
Stu Hart too. Give here, let me show you that. I'm gonna just keep trying to mention Stu Hart.
Also, we used to mention Nakajima like every other episode because he left Noah, and we're like, he's going to be in New Japan, isn't he? And he's like, no, he won't. He doesn't like to do jobs, I guess, and he likes to knock people. He's dangerous. So yeah.
I'm kind of glad that he didn't come to New Japan, same. Because I think it would have ended poorly. But anyway, so that's the match, and this is really funny because this is when we get introduced to a new character on the show, and that is Old Guy Ref. And Old Guy Ref is like one of the most willful refs I have ever seen in my life. Like, he reminds me of Pee-wee from fucking WCW, the guy that got fired and he had to beg for his job back in front of his family. And because he would kick Ric Flair's hand off the ropes and stuff like that. He'd kick a guy every once in a while. But this guy is out of control. It is a lot of fun. He has to help Taichi get his ring jacket off because Taichi's all sweaty, can't get it off. So, but Taichi and Jun start the match. We don't get Techers yet. We'll get them later. So, but the crowd is very, very pro Taichi. It's like all crowds should always be, and I was happy about that. So, Taichi does Kawada kicks right out the gate. with the man in attendance. And then Zack Sabre Jr. tags in, and we get a standoff between two of the most dangerous techers to ever live.
Yeah.
And they do some really fun, great mat wrestling. Taichi gets a bunch of his shit in on Zack Sabre Jr. and Ishii gets in, and we get some fantastic stuff between him and Zack Sabre Jr. Zack Sabre Jr. is on he's on entertainment mode here. Yeah, he's hitting hard, but he's making sure it's funny and it's a blast, and he's so good at that. So especially with Taichi. So, but that's fun. Ishii gets in and he's talking shit to Jun Kasai or Jun Nakayama, and Jun eventually just gets in, and old guy ref has to eat his whistle because he's like, I'm gonna count you out, and he's like, this is one of the spots, and he's like, I'll be over here. So, he don't like getting shown up, but anyway, so Jun just gets in and Ishii fucks him up, and Ishii just stands there and looks at him, and it's just so great, and he's an asshole, and it rules. I love it. So then Taichi and the ref get in a shouting match, and that is very funny because Taichi backs down, but he's still talking shit under his breath.
Like a petulant teenager.
Yes.
Oh, fine, fuck you down.
Sure, I'll quit choking him. Choke, no boy, choke you.
Yeah,
that. So that leads to let's see here, the other team taking over and beating up Taichi. So this ref is on the other team too, fucking ref. But that makes me sad. But Jun takes it to the outside. He teams up with Zack Sabre Jr. to beat Taichi in the crowd, and Zack Sabre Jr. does the gimmick. This is a multi-level joke here because Zack Sabre Jr. does the gimmick where he's showing Jun how to do uppercuts. And it's so funny because he hasn't been around. That guy doesn't know what this is. It's so Zack Sabre Jr. is being cheeky or whatever, and he knows it, right? And the crowd loves it, but also they're beating the shit out of Taichi at the same time. So yes, I love that. I thought that was so much fun. So they get back in the ring, and Jun hits a fucking pile driver on Taichi, and the beatdown continues, and the crowd chants for their hero. And finally, we get the Ishii wild hot tag where he runs around beating everybody else and causing chaos. That's something else that Taichi does, is when he comes in on that hot tag, he causes chaos for the other team, and they don't even know what's going on. That's great. He hits a brain buster on Jun, and he beats Jun down in the corner. He slaps a mud hole in him, and elbows a mud hole, and then dries it with a towel, probably.
That's right. A Taichi towel.
Yeah, exactly. Jun fights back and fucks Ishii up, and then we get more Zack Sabre Jr. versus Ishii, as now Ishii is down selling though, while we built to Taichi getting tagged in. So it's we're trading back and forth with these hot tags. So. And then Zack Sabre Jr. does the finger break spot to Ishii and then stomps on his arm. And I was very upset by that. But then we get something amazing where Zack Sabre Jr. and Ishii are like, hey, let's do reversals but never touch each other. What do you think? And so they do a minute-long sequence of dodges. It goes on and on and on and on. It's so great, man. I love that. It ends with a big slap from Zack Sabre Jr. Taichi gets in, and he gets hit along with his partner with stereo exploder suplexes, followed by stereo dragon sleepers. And then Ishii hits a desperation lariat, and Zack Sabre Jr. bumps onto Ishii because the timing's off a little bit, and he just kind of flies, but he flies towards Ishii and just kind of lands right on him. So that was fun. But then he puts a bunch of crazy holds on Ishii to slow him back down. But Taichi gets in and just kicks Zack Sabre Jr. in the fucking head. That's great.
Fucking ouch.
Finally, revenge for all those uppercuts too. That was great. So Jun tries to get in to intervene. He's like, "What's all this then? Karate chop!" This was fun. So let's see here. And then Ishii holds Zack Sabre Jr. for a move. This is so funny. So Taichi's he hits some strikes, and and he follows Jun out to the ring or out of the ring. But Zack Sabre Jr. and Ishii are in there, and this next spot is supposed to be Ishii has Zack Sabre Jr. held. Taichi tries to kick him. Zack dodges and kicks Ishii. Well, Taichi had already left the ring to chase Jun. So he looks up, he looks over at Jun, he looks up and goes, "Oh shit," and gets back in the ring. And then they do the spot. The crowd loved that. That was so funny. If you're gonna fuck up, own it and make it fun. You know what I mean? It was he made it fun. That was great.
This match was both, it had a physicality to it, which you and I would fucking definitely vibe off, like a kind of never style physicality to it. And then they also had this really huge fun factor as well, like just silliness. It's really, it was just a fucking good mix. It was really good.
I like that. Zach Driver from Zack Sabre Jr. and he is an asshole about it. He's like, TakaTaichi, huh? Fuck you. I do that move. Like, man, that was bullshit. But Ishii kicks out. We get German suplex from Ishii, and here we go. Taichi's in versus his former partner. Here we go. It's Tekkers on Tekkers. Gamenguri in the corner, and the crowd cheers for the Emperor because they know what's coming. The pants come off, and June gets in to ruin it, but he gets kicked in the fucking head. Dangerous suplex from Taichi on Dangerous. And then we get a bunch of roaring elbows from everybody and a folding power bomb from Taichi, but June breaks the pin, and that was a close one there. Taichi calls for and gets the bridging dangerous suplex for 2. Gato clutch with extra stank from Zack Sabre Jr. for 2, asshole. And then we get another close fall for 2 and a sack of shit suplex from Zack Sabre Jr. He tags in June. Taichi hits some crazy cutter looking move on June, and we get a double suplex Uranagi. Like Taichi's hitting the choke slam or the Uranagi while Ishii is suplexing a dude, and they like do it together. Yeah. And it's like, what the fuck? That was fun.
That was
Stretch.
Awesome.
I got a problem here though. Stretch plum from Taichi. That looked great. What was that hold he was putting on? That Ishii was putting on Zack Sabre Jr.
You know, it was weird. Like a few weeks ago, Ishii won by submission. No, it was one of the falls that he had on Gabe Kidd in that match, right? One of them was a submission fall. You know, it's like
cross arm breaker. It looked like a real submission.
I know. I've never seen him win like that before, so maybe he's getting a bit cocky here. But that submission hold he did on Zack is the equivalent of Shingo doing kicks. Like, nah, that was bad.
Yeah, that one was not good, but it was funny. So anyway, that was fun. So everybody gets in and what do we got here? We got stretch plum, some other holes. So then everybody gets in and takes and gives big moves. There's a Zack Driver on Ishii and a massive super kick from Taichi on Zack Sabre Jr. Everybody's dead. And this willful ref is like, oh, everybody's down, starts counting. Fucking asshole, give him a second. Jeez. But we get a suplex fight between Taichi and June. We are getting very close to a time limit draw. A snap pile driver from June, exploder for 2 from June, and then another huge near fall for Taichi on June with a crazy roll-up thing, axe bomber, and then time limit draw. There were times late in this match where they were looking at each other and just doing nothing because they knew they had gone too fast. And they were like, we're out of spots, so let's just stand here. So they did kill some time at some point, but that's okay. I thought it was fun, but we did learn something about Just Tap Out as well. Is that they have draw music because we hear a draw theme song. So.
Yeah, we do. I didn't realize this match. What was the time limit for this? 20 minutes?
30 minutes.
Wow, that fucking flew by because when the bell goes off for it to draw, you're right. Like in hindsight, all right, yeah, they did kind of do the stand around thing, but
just at the end,
you know, when I'm watching the match, I didn't realize there was I thought we were getting to some kind of finish, but I'm also thinking in the back of my head, well, Taichi and Ishii just the number 1 contenders. I don't want to see them fucking pinned. Zack Sabre Jr.'s like got this, IWGP World Heavyweight story. Like, I don't want to see him pinned either. And like, I like Jun Akiyama. I don't really want to see him pinned or submit either. So like, what the fuck happens here? It's a draw. And I'm like, you know what? I'm all right with this. Yeah, I didn't really want to see any of you lose tonight. That's why I'm not allowed to book shows, everybody wins. So, but every now and again, when somebody else is booking it, it's nice. It's good. Yeah. And we've got to see them all work for 30 minutes. All right, there was a couple of flubs here and there, but you try going this hard for 30 minutes, everybody. You're like, yeah. It was fucking awesome match. I like it just as much as the Inaba and versus Inaba match. Like, it was, I'm a huge Ishii, Taichi, Zack Sabre Jr. guy, so yeah, I like just those 3 being in it, yeah. And you've got Jun Akiyama there doing it. Oh man, this was just fucking cool. What a cool match.
Taichi got the mic after the match and he thanks everyone. And I'm pretty sure he begs every single one of them for a singles match.
That's right.
I'm pretty sure he also mentioned something about Iska wrestling Zack Sabre Jr. in there. And I thought that was funny. But and then here's the funny part. So he goes to thank Ishii, but Ishii's already gone. So he's like,
Yeah.
Ishii, get back out here. And Ishii comes to the curtain and kind of peeks out and then just takes like one step in. And it's like, yeah, what? And he's like, thank you, Ishii. I love you so much. Ishii's like, cool, bro. And just leaves. That was really funny.
Fucking loved that. Because, it doesn't matter if he's won or lost. Ishii's not celebrating in the main event, you know. Like, I know it wasn't the main event, but, you know, he's out of there. He's bye. I've just won the best. I've just won the G1. I'm out of here. Bye. You know, take the trophy with him, maybe. You know, something like that. That's probably another reason probably why he never won it. He won't do any of the fanfare pageantry. He doesn't like pageantry, does he, Mr. Ishii's gone.
No.
He's out of
He's
there.
Much like myself. I am not a rah guy. So like I see myself in Ishii.
Look, I don't mind watching it if it's like a massive, super mega big show or something like that. But look, if it's a house show and I'm not watching live, I'm skipping Naito's entrance. I'm just doing that, and that saves me 5 fucking minutes. Everyone, like, come on, man.
Longer.
If longer, yeah.
It's all of
he's
LIJ.
He's got to take his clothes off and shit too. Yeah. Right?
If it's all of LIJ, and you look at the match, and the match is 20 minutes long, the match is really 10 minutes long. So, because half of it's their fucking entrances, which is fine.
It's not an exaggeration at all.
Right, Taka is coming. Motherfucker!
Yeah, this is the main event. It is Taka Michinoku versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. No one believes Taka can win, not even Taichi, who's already said that in backstage comments that like you're just gonna fucking lose. But this match, it's not about that. This is about two legends having their last match together, pretty much. They might be in tags on other sides and stuff, but this is a special singles match. And it feels special too. Like, I don't know, man. I love this match. And Tanahashi, it's so surreal for me because, like, you know, I see Taka and I see all those junior Japanese older guys as, I don't care what their affiliation is. They're all heels in my mind, right? You know, they're all cheeky shit. Taka, Gato, Togo, Jado, you know, all those guys. They're fucking douchebag heels. I don't care what they're doing. Like, I'll cheer them sometimes, but to me, they're bad guys. They're really cheeky, and he has to use all of that kind of cheekiness in order to get anything going on Tanahashi. And when Tanahashi starts getting his hands on Taka, oh yeah, he's just fucking laying the moves in big time. Like, he's just, I'm gonna cave your chest in, Taka Michinoku, with my fucking giant arms. Because I'm the heel in this match. Yes, Tanahashi is the heel in a match against Taka Michinoku in 2025.
Kinda.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
everyone's getting cheered, but
I thought it was going to be way more like Tanahashi is 100% heel. Honestly, I mean, Taka's the one cheating in this match, if there's anybody cheating. So it's like it's basically two baby faces is what it is.
Pretty much.
I was surprised. I thought it was just going to be Taka getting his fucking ass kicked to the point where the crowd starts booing Tanahashi, and then Taka tries to come back and loses. Boo. I thought that was perfect. But they did something totally different.
Like, Tanahashi's standing there. He's like, all right, tackle me. You know, shoulder tackles. Let's go. And Tanahashi's not moving. You know, he's like, I'm a bigger dude. Like, there's no way you're getting me down. And Taka's just like, all right, now you do one. And drop toe hold, I'm putting a just face lock, and I'm drop kicking you, and all this kind of stuff.
Right.
And that's the thing. Tana's going to try and string some things together. He's going to be successful. But Taka's got to use everything in his arsenal, like, you know, sneaky little kicks to the shins, eye pokes, all the Taka shit that we all know and love. But there's something in this match that's fucking awesome, and they would only tease this on a New Japan show, and maybe once in a blue moon we'd see it if we're lucky. But they build up to this, and I'm like, are they this? Oh, they're doing it. Oh, fuck yeah. Taka Michinoku gets a Michinoku driver, a Zack driver on Tanahashi.
Yeah.
And it looked awesome. Look, I'm not, you know, of course he's strong enough. He's Taka's like nothing but muscle. So of course he could pick Tanahashi up. That's fine. But look at the size difference. Like, this is a smaller man picking up a fucking huge man and putting on the move matched perfectly too. So there's no, you know, like sometimes when Shingo will put the Last of the Dragon on a guy that's really tall, and like that guy better tuck that fucking head in, or it's landing weird, you know, like or Shingo's boots just gonna fucking crash right down on his nose, looking at you, Shooter, you poor bastard. I think that's what not broke his nose,
Probably,
but like made his nose bleed, like that Last of the Dragon. So you know, sometimes those can kind of go wrong, but no, Taka's a fucking pro. He gets that move on perfectly. And Tanahashi, man, we don't just get we get Tanahashi doing all of his big moves and stuff too. You know, he even goes for a high fly flow and misses, so that's fucking cool, which allows Taka to come over with the jumps, face lock, and all that kind of shit. But you know, we all know what's going to happen here. Tanahashi's eventually going to win. Oh, by the way, he does put him in a JTO as well, the Texas Cloverleaf. And I'm like, please don't break him like you broke Sho Makato, please.
Sho Makato making his triumphant return on the Best of Super Junior shows, by the way. So,
oh really?
Yes.
Sweet. Let's see. All right. So you looked at the first night and saw he was in the Young Lion match or something.
I heard that through the grapevine, Luke.
Right. How much longer would you be? Yeah. So high fly flow by Tanahashi, which looks awesome, but then you realize, and once again, that Taka's half his size, and so it looks like he just fucking completely splats him. 1, 2, 3. Tanahashi wins. Boo, but yay! And also, this was fucking fun as hell. You know, like it was the perfect length as well. You know, like I don't know, just everything about this worked for me in a match where you know it's a foregone conclusion and stuff. It was just like a really cool legend kind of match and all that kind of stuff. I loved it. What about you?
Yeah, I liked it just fine. It wasn't my favorite thing on the show, but I liked it a lot. I mean, I liked what happened after a whole lot more, because that's what this match is like. Yeah, but there's someone missing from the show, and they highlight it at the end of the show. So the match happens, and it's great. Everybody's fired up. Tanahashi leaves, and
before that, though, sorry, Yuya Uemura steps up to Tanahashi and challenges him. I don't know where. But
he just wants a singles match. That's what Tana got the mic and thanks Taka, but then Yuya takes the mic from him, says you know, he wants a singles match, and Tanahashi is smiling like yes, but like that cocky asshole smile that he has, and they both put it on and shake hands like fuck you, you son of a bitch, I'm gonna beat your ass, you know. It's really funny. So fucking and what's great,
bitch.
So while that's going on, then the camera looks down and Taka's selling on the ground, and he's like, thumbs up, like, yeah. That was very funny. So then Taichi comes out, right? Tanahashi leaves, and Taichi comes out, and there's Yuya, there's Taka, there's Taichi. We're missing, it's just 4 guys. It's not just 3 guys. We're missing 1 guy. Taichi gets the mic. He gives his respect to Kawada, and then he leads the crowd in the chant that we're all, I mean, like, I am not turning that TV off until Doki walks out there. I was like, this show cannot end without Doki coming out, because we know he's there. We know he's there. You can't fool us. So massive Doki chant that Taichi leads, and it takes a while, but Doki comes out, and he looks awesome. And he's got no cast. You can see the scar on his arm, where he had surgery. He flexes and shows the crowd that, hey, this arm's strong. Crowd goes nuts. He says he will be back soon. All right. And he talks about how just 4 guys are the best. And I agree. And Taka gets the mic, and he thanks everybody. And he says, so what? We gonna change everything. Just 4 guys. The crowd sings the Just 4 Guys theme song because they don't play it. So Taichi acts like he's going to take his pants off, but then he's not. So, because there's no music, but then he starts giving the music guy shit, which is hilarious. And then they finally, play the music, and Just 4 Guys pose and stand there. What was it like seeing Doki again? How is this is for you an experience?
We were hoping for it all night, and especially you were kind of voicing it for both of us, being like, I want him on commentary. Where's Doki? Where's Doki?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I know. I want Doki too. Like, where is he? And I kind of left the TV going, and got up to get a drink, brush my teeth, and all this kind of stuff. And then I start hearing Doki chant, so I did have to do a bit of rewindsies after the show had finished and all that kind of stuff, so I could see just like every single second of it. So like, because I needed to. And yes, Doki is here. He looks amazing. Like there's nothing wrong with him. So maybe after Dominion, maybe challenge the winner of Dominion in the title match there, something like that. Or I don't care what he does. Just come back and, obviously after the Best of Super Juniors. Because if he came back now, he would just overshadow the Super Juniors because no one would give a shit anymore because Doki's hit back. You know what I mean? Like, so he looks healthy. He looks awesome. And I just fucking marked out because we haven't heard hide nor hair of him for since January, right?
Yeah.
So it's May now. Holy shit! So like that's 5 months. Like give us some fucking Doki updates. We got it, and he's oh my god! It was just so awesome to see him. Oh, I was just so awesome to see him. He didn't do anything. This was the equivalent for us of when Naito just comes out to sit down and watch his boys wrestle, right? Like Doki came out just to be like, "Hey, remember me? Yes, you and I are fucking losing our minds. Of course we do." Oh my god, it was awesome. So yeah, it was so cool to see Doki again.
Very important too, like important piece of the show. It was like, man, Doki's been a part of all these shows. Maybe not. No, he was in all of them, and so it's like it might as well be TakaTaichi Doki Mania. He's in there, Desperado's in there, and now Yuya's in there too. So Yuya will have a match definitely. Maybe that'll be on the next TakaTaichi. It'll be him versus Tanahashi. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, you got to think his New Japan plate is he's probably got plans. Plus, it's probably full up for the rest of the year. I guess like whoever really wants to wrestle. I don't know how far ahead. Like there must be a line of guys going like, "Hey, can I have my last match with you now? Can I have my last match with you now? Can I have my last match with you now? Can I have?" And Tanahashi is just like there's not enough fucking days in a year for all this shit to happen. But
that's all right. He's never tired, so
that's right. He's lightly letharged sometimes, and that's about it. So, oh my god. So yeah,
he's just resting his eyes.
That's it. So we didn't just have TakaTaichi Mania 4. I feel like it didn't give it. The last show didn't give us the promise of a TakaTaichi Mania 4. We didn't know when it was going to happen. Whereas we're watching this, and they're laying the seeds for a TakaTaichi Mania 5. So it kind of added to my excitement throughout watching the entire show, really. Like knowing that, hey, I think there's going to be another one of these. Fuck yes. I love these shows. Yeah.
I feel like even if we stopped covering New Japan for some reason, we would still come back for these. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I just feel like these are just an important part of our podcast, and I really enjoy doing them. And it reminds me also of going to indie shows when I was younger, and like I'd go to indie shows and half the people, I don't know who they are. So you get to know them, and then you're invested because you get to see them progress like we talked about. And we've seen, many JTO wrestlers progress, and now we've seen Doki progress at these shows as well. So, I mean, I'm telling you, that match versus Taichi is like, that made Doki a made man. After that, New Japan changed the way that they booked him. It was after that. And so it was like, important shit happens on TakaTaichi Mania shows, and we talk about it on this.
That's right. So it was around that time he had that really good match when Hiromu came back from injury as well. Yeah. So like I'd say it's both those matches, but mostly the Taichi one because that's how we roll.
That was an emotional match too, because Taichi won, but just barely. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and right. Doki proved himself, and oh man, I might have to go back and watch that again.
Man, yeah, no, oh my god. So yeah, man, I'm so happy that we've just done TakaTaichi Mania fucking 4. Oh, it's been years.
That's right.
You said 3 years since the last one? Holy shit.
Yeah, it was in 2023, 2022, something like that. December 2022 was a long time ago. But yeah, and I made the custom theme song for this, so now we have a theme song for TakaTaichi stuff, and it's appropriately silly. So I hope everyone
That's
enjoyed
right.
that as well. And who knows what else might get its own theme song? You never know.
That's right. You never know.
Maybe
Oh my
Trolls.
goodness.
Maybe
So,
Wrestler Diaries will get their own theme song. Who knows? You know.
own little jingle you can put. That, I got a shiver, and not just because it's fucking cold in this garage, but but in TakaTaichi Doki Despi we trust, I guess.